What is going on, everybody? It's the Fronts, and we're here for a Rampage / SmackDown review for September the 10th, 2021. Rampage was a hell of a show with Andrade El Idolo versus Pac, and on SmackDown we had 3 matches for the entire show with a random 10-man tag match, the SummerSlam rematch with Seth Rollins and Edge, and the Usos taking on the Street Profits for the tag team titles and Brock Lesnar's return. Of course, we're going to start out with Rampage. We just got done watching that. Yeah, 3 matches, of course, Andrade El Idolo and Pac. A match we were supposed to get last Sunday, but unfortunately, travel issues, as they pointed it out, we got that bumped to tonight. Of course, this was taped on Wednesday, so if you didn't want the spoilers, you shouldn't have looked it up. Then we had Chris Statlander, Riho, and Ruby Soho versus Jamie Hayter, Rebel, and the champion, the Faker, and Brian Pillman Jr. in his first one-on-one main event of AEW. Took on Max Caster in his hometown with a little appearance from Jon Moxley toward the end of the show. So again, we'll start with Pac and Andrade. This was an awesome match. This was one of those matches that, we know how good All Out was. And remember, the Women's Battle Royal was supposed to be on the pre-show, with this match, Pac and Andrade, being on the main show. So that 22 minutes that we didn't get to see Pac and Andrade, we got the Women's Battle Royal. This match would have just made All Out that much better. And I'm not going to say we all, but a lot of us all talked about how the first match Andrade was in, which of course was against Matt Sydal, was a massive disappointment for Andrade. It just felt like he wasn't there yet. He wasn't ready to be. He didn't get the WWE stink off of him just yet. It felt like he was doing a main roster WWE match with Matt Sydal. This is a match we've been looking forward to for Andrade to have, and Pac is just Pac. Now, no entrances for these guys that happened before the show. They get ring introduced as if it's a big time main event, because it was a big time main event. If this show was not on this late at night, this would be your main event match. If this was Pac and Andrade on Wednesday night, this coming Wednesday night, this would be a main event match, not whatever they have coming up on Wednesday night, because this is main event worthy. So we have this match, and now they did mention how the Lucha Bros did start to come down with Pac during his entrance, but he looked at both of them and was like, nah, man, you guys go to the back. I got this one. I want this one-on-one. So he gets it one-on-one. Of course, Chavo and Andrade's other associate, I guess named Philip or something. I don't know what the hell his name is, but they were out there for him. Pac gets a knock, takes him down, gets a 1. Pac gets a huge pump kick followed by a DDT on the apron. Andrade meets him out there with a well-executed springboard corkscrew plancha. That was fucking amazing. Andrade hooks the leg on Pac after making the way back to the ring. Pac kicks out. Andrade climbs up to the middle turnbuckle. Pac beats him up there. Pac is at the mercy of Andrade as he pokes him in the trio roll on the outside. He's hanging from the top turnbuckle outside. Andrade has to pull him up enough so he can hit the double stomp, which again, I hate that move. I fucking hate it. Commercial break, so I don't know if we saw the entire match. They just cut it up into commercial breaks and they just played it from start to finish. I don't know. But commercial break, no picture-in-picture tonight, which is really weird because even on other tapes episode of Rampages, we've gotten picture-in-picture. So I wonder why we didn't get a picture-in-picture tonight. Back from break, Andrade puts his Pac on the inverted face lock, elbow drop, and hits it. Andrade then comes off the top rope with a split-legged moonsault. The fans beg for these two fight forever, which I am... Shut up with the fight forever chants. You do not need to say fight forever for every match. This match wasn't even halfway over when we get fight forever chants. Lucha Bros, Young Bucks, yes. This did not deserve a fight forever chant. Come the fuck on, people. Goes for the hanging trio row again, but Pac moves out of the way. Pac follows up with a top rope moonsault, fucking beautiful. While the ref, so Andrade gets him into the brutalizer. He has him in the brutalizer towards the end of the match. And the other guy, Andrade's assistant, jumps up on the apron with some kind of stun gun type hand item. And the World Tag Team Champions, Lucha Bros, come down, stop him, take him out. While the referee is distracted, Chavo comes in, attacks Pac with probably the tablet. Andrade falls over, pins him. 1, 2, 3. Andrade is your winner. After the match, Andrade is coming back and he's asking Chavo, what the hell happened? Did you do something? And his other assistant is like, yeah, this guy attacked Pac behind your back. So Andrade whacks Chavo right in the face, knocking him down. Him and his associate walk away, leaving Chavo done. He's done with Chavo. So his associate so the Lucha Bros come out, super kick Chavo, and then grab him, throw him in the ring. He gets put into the brutalizer, and for about 2-3 minutes, Pac would not let go of the brutalizer. This is obviously them writing off Chavo, and there's a possibility now that the Nature Boy could be coming in to manage Andrade. Does he need the Nature Boy? No. I wish they could have kept the Chavo thing, because Chavo felt like he fit with Andrade, but they just wanted to end it here. Guess it was a short-term deal with Chavo, but that's it. Chavo is done. Andrade moves on. He wins. He's pissed off that he didn't win this. He didn't win this on his own. He wanted to beat Pac on his own, and that's why he took him out. Staying in the ring, when we come back from a break, we have Darby Allin and Sting with Tony Schiavone. And Allin says, you guys say Sting is riding my coattails. But Spears, if it wasn't for Tully Blanchard, you wouldn't be anything in this company. Absolutely true. If Tully Blanchard didn't team up with Sean Spears would have been a flash in the pan, beaten by Cody in their match, and then just forgotten in AEW. And hell, for the longest time, even with Tully Blanchard, him and Sean Spears did absolutely nothing in this company. Like, he was just doing dark matches, using and winning with the black glove, loaded black glove, and wasn't doing anything. And there he is now, part of the Pinnacle, probably going to be the odd man out of the Pinnacle when they want to say somebody's the weakest link and go from there. So, of course, Tony Schiavone brings up Sting. Just brings up the Sting that Tully wants him to have him go face to face with him sometime soon. Sting says, "Why don't we just do it tonight? How about tonight in Cincy?" And Tully comes out and says, "Oh, you guys would love." He also did mention the fact that Tully did ride the coattails of Ric Flair and Arn Anderson and everyone else. So it's like you want the number games. That's how you always like to do. He's just babbling and babbling and babbling while Sean Spears comes from somewhere else, pulls Darby out, lays him out, Sting chases him off, and that was pretty much it. A little bit of a waste of a segment. We get a beautiful video package for Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole explaining why they decided to join AEW. Cole is here for the Elite and to take out men like Bryan Danielson. He warns Danielson and his pals that he isn't even in his prime yet. Bryan Danielson says he has one target from the Elite. He doesn't want to fight the whole Elite. He just has one target, and that is Kenny Omega. He would love to sink the teeth in having his first match with Omega. And if it happens, it happens. Of course, we know Frankie Kazarian takes on Adam Cole next Wednesday. I said this before, I'll say it again. Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, dream match, yes. Everyone wants to see that match, yes. Does not need the AEW championship. You have spent 2 years building up, slowly but surely building up Adam Hangman Page to beat Kenny Omega for the AEW championship at Full Gear. After that happens, then you can build towards Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega. I do not need to see that match yet. Get everything else that you had building up done, then you move on to Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. Bryan Danielson can face anybody else, but not Kenny Omega until Kenny Omega drops that championship to Hangman Page. And I don't want to hear this bullshit, oh, well, Bryan Danielson should be getting the championship opportunity before. No. I don't give a shit. Everyone bitched when Christian Cage came in and said he wants a world title shot. But you're not going to bitch because Bryan Danielson's coming in to face off against Kenny Omega. Doesn't work like that. One, you can't say it's okay for one and it's not okay for the other. Bryan Danielson hasn't had a match yet. There is no fucking reason this guy can go in there and say, I'm going to get a championship opportunity over everyone else when you already got a built-in storyline you've been building for 2 years that had to take a detour because Hangman's wife got pregnant and was having a baby. Hangman comes back. Hangman gets in the title picture. Hangman wins the AEW championship at Full Gear. After that, you can build towards Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega one-on-one at Revolution. It's not that fucking hard. Plain and simple. Ruby Soho, Riho, and Chris Statlander took on the Faker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel. It was an okay match. Now, I will say this was a better match for Ruby Soho than her match against Jamie Hayter, which just felt like it was... Like, I don't know what it was. Like, there were botches every once in a while. Maybe Ruby was like, because she hasn't wrestled really in a very long time. Like, 6 months, it felt like. She hardly wrestled when towards the end of her WWE career. And here she is now coming in cold as can be almost, even though I know she was in the Battle Royal. And trying to have a proper one-on-one match against somebody, it didn't work out well. But this was much better. And the champion didn't do much in this match. She wasn't in the match that much. It was mostly Jamie Hayter and Rebel. Riho, Chris Statlander, Ruby Soho will pick up the win here. And it was a big, huge right kick, which I don't know what they're calling it. But she hits the right kick and gets the pin and the win on Rebel. So the face women, Riho, Ruby Soho, and Chris Statlander get the win, and that is that. And then we move on to Brian Pillman Jr. versus Max Caster. Max Caster back after being a little offensive the last time he was, a couple weeks ago on Dark, or a month or so ago on Dark. Came back this past Monday and Tuesday and cuts a wrap on Cincinnati, and wow. Just like, it was funny because he's about to say, like, Skyline Chili looks like shit, and Bowens takes the mic and says, whoa, Max, you're on thin ice. So immediately, as soon as Brian Pillman Jr. gets out here, he's wearing his dad's gear again, he rushes the ring, takes this guy down, starts beating the fuck out of him after what he said tonight, what he said on Wednesday. Just beats the fuck out of this guy. Anthony Bowens, of course, helps Max Caster get back into the match with the referee distracted. In the end, flying elbow from Brian Pillman Jr. and flying Brian Pillman Jr. gets the win. After the match, the Acclaim of beating up on Pillman. Just as they're about to hit him with the boombox, out comes Jon Moxley. He steps in, attacks Bowens, hits him with the boombox, and then hits the Death Rider on Max Caster as the show goes off the air with two Cincinnati homegrown men, celebrating with the crowd as the show goes off the air. Apparently, during the aftermath, those two sang some jingle together to send the fans home happy. So there is that. So Rampage, definitely a really good show. That first match, could you imagine? Had we got that match last Sunday, Pac, Andrade, they would have got a little bit more time. But also, it would have made that show much, much bigger than it was. And that show was big as it was. So, hell of a show overall. let's talk about SmackDown. Before we talk about SmackDown, there has been some changes to Monday Night Raw. So, Monday Night Raw was supposed to be this Monday. Lashley MVP versus Matt Riddle and Randy Orton for the tag team titles. They spent majority of this past Monday doing 2 parts of a tag team turmoil to decide who would face Randy Orton and Matt Riddle next Monday on Raw. Guess what? That has changed. As it will be Randy Orton versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship. Why? I don't know. Oh, you know why? That's right. Because what's this Monday? That's right. It's the first week of Monday Night Football. And everyone knows in the first week of Monday Night Football, there's not 1, but 2 games to kick off the season. So, WWE is going to get trounced by Monday Night Football this week. So they went, well, a tag team championship match between Matt Lashley and MVP and the OK Bros isn't a big enough match. So now we have to have this. Also, it looks like Damian Priest will host an open challenge for the United States Championship. And yeah, so there you go. Bobby Lashley and Randy Orton will go 1-on-1 and will probably have a fuck finish and still happen at the pay-per-view. But that is your news on Monday Night Raw. SmackDown opened with a video package on the 9/11 stuff from 20 years ago, aka the biggest inside job in American history. Not going to go any further on that. Pat McAfee is back, and my God, you can tell that the quality of commentary went up from the last 2 weeks because, no offense to Corey Graves, but we've heard Corey Graves and Michael Cole for so long, and losing Pat McAfee for 2 weeks was definitely terrible compared to what we were hearing before that. Out comes Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and the Usos. They stop on the stage, raise their titles. We get the introductions. Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns has been made official for Extreme Rules. The reason for this is because Finn Balor got beat up by the Usos last week on SmackDown. So WWE officials thought it would only seem fair if he gets another shot at the championship. Okay. Bloodline into the ring. They raise the titles again. Reigns asks Heyman for it. When it comes to sports entertainment, and this is the key, when it comes to sports entertainment, WWE runs New York, right? Heyman says yes. Who owns WWE? He says, you own WWE, my tribal chief. Reigns says that's right, and he and the Bloodline run WWE. Therefore, the tribal chief runs New York City and runs Madison Square Garden. Yeah, in the realm of sports entertainment, WWE might run New York. But next week, and the week after that, AEW as professional wrestling is going to run New York City better than WWE ever had in the last 25 years. Count on it. He tells MSG to acknowledge him. The Bloodline stand tall until the music out comes Brock Lesnar. Lesnar comes out, comes to the ring, stares all 3 members of the Bloodline down. The Usos get in front of Roman Reigns. They laugh. Brock laughs about this, about them getting in his face. Paul Heyman has the mic and says, Brock, of all the titles we can go after together, why the Universal title? Can you imagine what success we could have going after the WWE? And Brock takes the mic and says, Paul, I have a question for you. Why didn't you tell Roman Reigns I was going to be a SummerSlam? Roman isn't happy. Heyman says, I didn't know what was going to happen. Roman snatches the Universal title. Lesnar is just having fun with this. Reigns and the Usos exit the ring, leaving Heyman alone with Lesnar. Fans chant Suplex City. Heyman takes the mic and begins his old intro with Lesnar. Lesnar, of course, hypes up and applauds. Heyman then says, oh, just like good old times, man, old times. But Heyman, before Reigns fires you, I want you to accept my challenge. Heyman's like, a challenge? Yes, for the Universal Championship. And Heyman's like, but you can't. He's like stuttering and shit. And Heyman's, for that, it's like, you got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, lifts him up, ready for now. 5. Doesn't even get the 5. Reigns gets in, hits the Superman punch. Lesnar scoops him up for the F5, but the Usos hit the ring and unload on Lesnar with super kicks. Lesnar comes back with a double clothesline to both of them as the fans go wild. He then delivers a German suplex to Jimmy, then to Jay. All the bloodline retreat as Lesnar stands tall in the ring while fans cheer him on. So that was actually a really good segment. Just how perfect Roman Reigns is with this. Why didn't you tell Roman I was going to be at SummerSlam? Roman's like, are you fucking serious? We got this championship. He's like, I'm the fuck out of here. You're going to betray me like that, you motherfucker? But in the end, Roman, like, you can just tell that this dude was just having a fucking ball. Was like, I got you good, didn't I? I got you good. Clearly, they're going to go into that match, but it is going to be Balor versus Reigns later on at Extreme Rules. We'll talk about that in a bit. Bloodline is walking backstage. Kayla Braxton, of course, because, Kayla Braxton has to be a journalist to get all the scoops. She has to get all them scoops. Ask Paul Heyman if Reigns will answer Brock Lesnar's challenge. And Heyman is, you can just see the emotion. He's trying not to cry. He says, how dare you ask me this? Lesnar lied and try about me knowing him coming to SummerSlam. Goes on and says Reigns will answer the challenge when he deems it appropriate. Get the fuck out of my face. And goes and walks off. Sami Zayn, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and Apollo Crews take on Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, Big E, Rey Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio. Sami Zayn is in the ring. He takes the mic. It says, You know what? I love New York. He's wearing a Knicks jersey, a Knicks jersey. And he says, someone who knows how to win in New York, I'm going to bring them out here for our corner. And I'm like, please don't tell me Logan Paul or Jake Paul won a boxing fight in MSG. No. It's Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. And holy shit, the heat he got. If anybody doesn't know, this past summer in the playoffs, in round 1, Trae Young took the soul of New York City out of commission when the Atlanta Hawks took the New York Knicks out of the playoffs. And he did it with a smile on his face. This makes Sami Zayn the most beautiful of assholes. I mean, it's WWE, they gotta have they have to have their ESPN moment. Having Trae Young come in, because everyone knows AEW's been the talk of the town. ESPN's been talking about AEW. All these other news outlets have been talking about AEW just being AEW. So WWE needs to get some people talking about it. So they go and grab Trae Young. Trae Young obviously is a wrestling fan. At the Rolling Loud concert after the Women's Championship match on WWE's Twitter page, they had Trae Young announce in Miami, in his home for some reason, to the Miami crowd. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, that they're going to have a match on January 1st in 2022 called Day One, eventually named. But yeah, apparently he's a wrestling fan. So he's up there, and they had this match here. Trae Young does get involved later on, trying to choke the life out of Rey Mysterio on the ropes. Gets caught. Referee kicks him out. Fans with a huge pop for that. Trae Young's like, I didn't do anything. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Dominic and Rey Mysterio get a double 619 onto Sami Zayn. Big E tags in, catches Sami with the big ending. Nakamura stops Crew from making the save. 1, 2, 3, and the babyfaces win. Not much else you can say there. After the match, the babyfaces stand tall. Kayla interviews Big E now, and he says he gives a shout out to the New York Knicks, how we had a great team, just like this year's New York Knicks. Even though he's not a Knicks fan, whatever. She asked him what title is he going to be going for because you can challenge for any championship at any time. He says, this might not be the last time you see me tonight, because whether it's the WWE Champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley, or the Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, if you got what I need, what I want, or what I need, you're coming for your neck. He might show up on Raw next week. It might be any night. Because if you have what I need, you will feel my power. And he raises the briefcase, and that is that. One or two ways this goes. Either Big E cashes in on Roman Reigns and fails, or cashes in on Bobby Lashley and wins the championship before Bobby Lashley goes to Crown Jewels to take on Oldberg and lose to him so they could be 1-1 so they can go to a third match. Good fucking grief. Back to the ring, and Bianca Belair comes out for the Extreme Rules contract signing with SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch. She swings her hair around, dances and smiles as if everything is okay. They still don't book this woman right. You got beat in 27 seconds. Why are you so fucking happy? Why are you acting like nothing is wrong? Like you didn't get fucked over at the pay-per-view. Why are you pretending like everything's all cool? You should be serious. You should be angry until you get your title shot. Like you get your title match and you get your chance to win that championship back. You should not be sitting here swirling your hair around all happy-go-lucky. God, I fucking hate babyface Bianca Belair. She has not been the same since she was a heel on NXT. And I know they're not going to turn her heel unless they turn Montez Ford and Angela Dawkins heel, which probably is not going to happen. We get another brief 9/11 tribute video because, you know, we gotta soak up the 9/11 bullshit and propaganda. 3 9/11 organizations were in the building tonight: the Feel Good Foundation, 9/11 Day, and Tuesday's Children's. Belair is in the ring. Adam Pearce is Sonya Deville. Pearce gives her the contract to make the Extreme Rules match official. Talks about being back in Madison Square Garden and for having so much respect for Lynch. The most she respected about Lynch was how she wouldn't run away from a fight. But things had changed. She goes on and says she doesn't respect Becky as much as she once did, but Becky can win some of that respect back in Extreme Rules while Belair wins her title back. She signs the contract. Out comes Becky Lynch to a huge pop, wearing a large fake fur coat and aviator sunglasses or mirror sunglasses or whatever they were. Takes a seat and says the original WrestleMania main eventer has arrived. She smocks Belair and brings up how the look on her face when she was getting in the ring with the big time Becks. She says Belair can be a fan of the man. There's no shame in buying a ticket and sitting out there with the regular people. Some fans do boo. Becky goes and asks what happened if she doesn't sign the contract. Pearce and Neville say, just sign the contract. Belair tells Becky to sign the damn contract. Belair tells her repeatedly to sign it. Becky stands up and isn't happy with the crowd reaction and says she was sitting at home listening to the fans chanting for "We want Becky." She came back at the last minute, saved all your asses, and beat the champion, but this is how your fans treat her? She says she left her baby at home for these people and they're favoring a flash in the pan over her. She goes on and says she will give Belair the match, but it will end the same way. She signs the contract, tosses it at Belair, who catches it and sitting down. She storms out of the ring as fans boo her. She steps on the ramp and raises the title as Belair music hits. Belair taunts her from the ring. Honestly, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel real to have them make Becky a heel. Everything this woman worked her ass off to become a babyface, and now we're supposed to buy her as a heel. Still doesn't feel right. It does not feel right at all. Edge versus Seth Rollins rematch from SummerSlam. This was a long-ass match, but before that, Paul Heyman is on his phone with someone talking about how he didn't know Lesnar was going to be at SmackDown. Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox come running by in their tank, and Heyman asks if it's how taxis are done in New York City now. He is annoyed by Kayla Braxton appearing once again. I swear she's his fucking shadow. Says Roman Reigns will watch his cousin retain over the Street Profits tonight, and then live at MSG, he will answer Lesnar's challenge, whether that's a yes or no. Don't you love a good cliffhanger? Turns to leave, but runs into Big E. Big E raises the Money in the Bank briefcase, taunts Heyman with it to end the segment, and we go to the ring for Edge versus Seth Rollins. This was a damn long match. this match was better than their SummerSlam match for sure. Was it too commercial? Was it a little bit too long? Maybe, but they got to eat time because this was the next to last match. Yes, there were only 3 matches on this show. This match, the 10-man tag, and the tag team title match. That was it. The rest of it was promo, and promo. But long-ass match here. Everyone's, they're using each other's moves, trying to use other moves. Edge actually had a pedigree on Seth Rollins. Edge sits back on his knees. Rollins screams at him, "Why won't you die?" Hits him with a super kick. Basically, what happened was, Jessica was in the middle, was pushed to the corner. Ash is getting out of the way. Doesn't see it. Low blow to Edge. Kick. He keeps getting up. Kick to the face. Like at least 3 or 4 kicks to the face. He finally hits the stomp. Still doesn't pin him immediately. He just soaks in the Adrade, the fact that he actually killed this guy in the face. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins wins the rematch. Clearly, this is setting up for a rematch at Extreme Rules. And we'll see where that goes. Rollins sits in the corner as he stares at Edge and music hits. The referee calls for help, and Edge is laid out flat on his back. The EMTs stretcher him out of the ring, and we go back to commercial break. Back from the break, and Edge is being tended to in the back as the stretchers. Rey Mysterio is there with other people as Edge is loading into the ambulance. Cole and McAfee try to play up the seriousness of the situation. We get replays of what happened. Adam pisses Sooneyville, closing the door on the ambulance. Alish asks him, trying to comments from Seth in the back, but he's at a loss for words, studying around. He says he's not sure what he's supposed to feel. He just doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't feel anything at all, and he walks off. So, again, we have a few weeks left till the pay-per-view. That match is going to be happening. We know it's going to happen again. It needs to happen again because it's 2 matches. Please don't make it Saudi Arabia. It better not be at fucking Saudi Arabia. They could hold it off to Saudi Arabia because that's what WWE likes to do, but a lot of people aren't going to watch the show from Saudi Arabia because a lot of people don't want to see WWE associated with Saudi Arabia. Roman is backstage with Paul Heyman and the Usos. Roman hypes the Usos up for the title defense, and they tell him not to worry. They walk off for the match. Heyman goes to speak with Roman, and Repson says he saved Heyman. He repeats this and then asks him, why don't you tell him Brock was being at SummerSlam? Reigns stares Heyman down, but Heyman doesn't answer. We go to commercial. We get another one of the brief 9/11 tributes because we gotta shove it down your throat that WWE was the first assembly 2 days after 9/11. Again, the biggest inside job in our country's history. And we go to a tag team title match: the Street Profits versus the Usos. Of course, the Street Profits won a championship contenders match last week, and here we are. So we had ourselves a pretty good match here. The Usos look to have the match lost. It looks like Street Profits are about to win. Jimmy flies off the top rope, but into knees. Jimmy realizes docking is no longer legal. This leads to Reigns rushing the ring and applying a guillotine to Ford after he gets the frog splash off, choking the man out as the bell rings. Fans are booing as he keeps the guillotine on. He breaks the hold, stands tall as the boos get louder. Reigns takes the mic and says if Brock Lesnar wants it, he can get it. He'll smash Lesnar as soon as he's done smashing Finn Balor. The lights go out and they come back up, and it's the Demon. The music hits. Out comes Balor as the Demon to a pop. The Demon hits the ring, faces off with Reigns. The Usos stand behind Reigns. Super SmackDown as MSG goes off the air, with the Demon looking and just glaring at everyone in the ring. Okay, it's cool that we got the Demon coming back. That's gonna be fucking cool. But I don't like the fact that the Demon's coming back only to get killed by Roman Reigns. The Demon, I'm sure it'll be a good match, especially with it being the Demon. But I honestly could see it be the Demon comes in to face Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns just absolutely blasts Finn Balor as the Demon, just killing that gimmick, and we'll never see it again. I like the Demon. I would like to see the Demon coming back because we all knew in NXT, except for one, like towards the end of his time in NXT, the Demon is there means Finn Balor's winning. Finn Balor doesn't lose at the Demon except for one time in NXT. But the Demon's not winning this match. obviously. You're not having the Demon come back, which it sucks that you're bringing the Demon back just to have him be fed. It does suck. Seth Rollins versus Edge was a really good match. Definitely going to see a third match either at Extreme Rules or, unfortunately, probably at Saudi Arabia. But yeah, that is your SmackDown. SmackDown was a better show because it was two good matches. A 10-man tag was forgettable. Who gives a shit? I mean, the only thing to talk about that match was Trae Young coming out to Major Heat. Other than that, it was a forgettable match. Becky Lynch is so-so. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. I don't buy her as a heel. The most over woman in this company, you're going to turn into a fucking sniveling heel. Why? And don't give me that all because it works so well with Roman Reigns. There's a fucking difference. Everybody loves Becky Lynch as the big, badass babyface she was before she went and got pregnant. Nobody liked Roman Reigns until SummerSlam 2020. Plain and simple. It's going to fail. It's already failing, but we'll wait and see what happens. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys on Monday for Raw. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.